Hi. It's been a moment. It's been a while. It's been a while. Some things have changed. Some major things have happened. Some major life events for various people. I took an arrow to the knee during the 7 months, so that happened. Yeah.
Like you.
So we're back.
Yeah.
Huzzah! This is probably going to be
A TPK.
a little rusty and a little janky because
How do we play D&D?
because
I don't
it's
know how
been
to play.
it's been 7 months since the last proper session. Yes, we did the quick Christmas one shot.
Couple of one shots. Yeah.
We did a couple of one shots with other characters, but just to try and keep our hands in. But yeah. So I'm going to do a recap in a second, just to get all of you back up to speed as to where we are, and also probably this lot, because they've all probably forgotten what the hell's going on. Before that, though, is there any announcements, housekeeping, anything like that to do?
Just gotta say our usual thank you to D&D Beyond, Sirenscape and Roll20 for providing such fantastic tools for you to use on your home role-playing games. Sirenscape has fantastic music, D&D Beyond allows you to have quite good character sheets, and Roll20 is great for maps, so yeah, thank you for doing some great services. We use them all. That's pretty much it.
What?
Huh?
What was that? Annette
Huh?
said something then.
I just said yay.
I think she said ducks.
Oh,
I didn't say
Oh, okay.
ducks, you asshole.
quack.
Ruining songs for me. No, we were listening to a song in the car on the way to get takeout, and he thought that the singer said duck, and he's ruined the song because now that's all I can hear.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, recap time. Oh, blimey, this is going to test even my brain. So, last time... Yeah. Got to get back in the swing of DMing. Vienna had managed to persuade the Naveen Netters to leave the city and go on to pastures new at Minas Pingoli, thus removing one of the key hogs in the whole slave network in Reform. From there, she then freed the slaves that were remaining in the market, snuck them out of the city, and those who were willing, she then snuck into the Triferian camp to join up with the resistance there. She and Ert then returned to the Gloomstalker Inn and met back up with the rest of the party, who were just getting back after their mad heist on a warehouse with a smash and grab against Weeping Angels. They went over a few documents there, finding one that only Vienna could read, that said something about along the lines of glory to Vestan, recruitment, birthing continues apace. We will soon be in a position to replace more influential figures, and this was a report to someone named Handor, who you all knew was the right-hand man, bodyguard / secret grey slard in service to Albrecht Worthington. Due to a slip of the tongue by Talia, you were unsure as to whether you were now being watched and decided to move quickly, moving on Worthington's estate. Making your way through the lower city and up, you then had a few interactions with some of the people in the upper city near the arena, before making your way towards the Nobles District. There you tried to make some form of plan of action, went to speak to the guards at the gate to ask to see Handor, only for Handor himself to be there and invite you all in. You all followed, and after a number of unfortunate events, you were trapped in a kill box with Slard coming from every direction, and Blossom was forced to use the card they'd drawn from the deck of many things to rewrite their fate and rewrite reality back to when Vienna had come back to the Gloomstalker Inn. Quickly filling everyone in on what had happened but not happened anymore, the party began to make new plans whilst quickly finishing a long rest that they maybe should have had the first time round. During that time, the whole Christmas special happened, but that's not relevant to the story. That's a side issue, so if you want to watch that, please go ahead. It was quite fun. It involved Grinches and Krampus and Klaus and fun, so I enjoyed it. I hope this lot did, but yeah. Anyway, to where we left off, as you all come to from your various rests and recuperation. What would you all like to do? You are in your room at the Gloomstalker Inn.
I will probably get up, go for breakfast, and sit there and try and think.
I mean, breakfast is the same as every meal in the Gloomstalker Inn. Hestia just hands you a bowl of tavern stew, which is what is ever is traded to her, thrown in the cauldron, and kept on a steady boil so that it doesn't ever become a health hazard. So yeah, there's lumps of mystery meat and mystery vegetable in a vaguely tasteless slop, effectively.
Stare into her
I'm glad I don't eat
it. But she's pondering.
Yeah.
I think Val is probably going to be spending some time in contemplation, a bit like Vienna, but probably a bit more prayer-like, a little bit cross-legged, and yeah. I know I can't really reach out, but trying to sense anything from Tritherian and trying to find my way through this mess.
Yeah.
I'll try and do the same to the Raven Queen. Maybe be like, hey,
Okay.
you got any ideas, Queen? Now would be the time, because I'm lost. I don't know what to do.
Again, you both can feel your connections to your gods are there. Again, that similar situation is happening where you're sending out these prayers and you're sending out these messages, and there's no response from the other end other than the usual warm feeling of your powers being given to you.
I just had a horrible thought. The mirror doesn't work, right?
Yep.
Well, the last time the mirror didn't work, Gunterforte died. He probably thinks I'm dead. What if he's moved on when we go back and he doesn't love me anymore?
Goes, I could send a sending. We know they work. They just don't work right.
Yeah, could you just message him and say that, we're in Reforp, it fucking sucks, trying to make things better, but we're a little lost. If he's got any ideas, now's the time.
Okay. And she sits in a corner and mumbles out a quick
tell
message.
him that I'm alive. That would probably be
Yeah.
the thing you start with, yes.
She sits there and goes, Gunter, Talia alive, Reforp sucky, trying to improve, not sure how. Can you give any insight? Talia sends lots of kisses.
Oh, thank you.
You can respond to message. She sort of sits there,
Oh, she's got to get to hear his voice. I don't get to.
and then she sort of you watch as this
She
atomic
try and put on
blush covers her face, and she goes, "Not sure I can repeat that."
You can whisper it in my ear, darling.
Well, apparently we woke him up, as though it seems daytime here. Apparently it's nighttime there, and he maybe thought he was having a dream.
Oh. Awkward.
She-
A wet dream?
she gets out a scrap of paper, writes some stuff down, and passes it to you.
What's it say? What's it say? I want to know.
Stuff that I can't say on stream.
Oh! I'll just read it. Just be like,
We have flagged the stream as 18+.
Let's go!
That
Describe
I'm not
to me!
comfortable saying on stream.
You do realize that means that I can think that it's anything and it's canon, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you know guns are best out of anyone, so you feel free to interpret it how you want.
It's utter
Look.
filth that can't be retreated on stream.
There's going to be another fanfic now.
Of course there
If
is.
I can tear myself away from writing smart about Cyberpunk, then maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway.
What?
Did he have any insights about Reform? Or was it just what he wanted to do to me when I get back?
Not in that message, no.
Ah, fuck. How many you got in you?
Well, we just rested, so a few.
But we don't want to burn all of the spells.
No, but like, he didn't answer the damn question. Like, priorities, man.
He knows you're alive.
I know, but he comes from Reform. He might know secret entities or something. I don't know. He escaped, right?
Yeah, you do remember he escaped 15 to 20 years ago.
If there's secret entrances and exits, maybe maybe they're still secret.
And they've completely rebuilt the city since then. You do remember them saying, like, the original city is the lower city. They sunk it into the ground.
God damn it.
Mm.
Sending work to gods? Just a thought. Not that you've ever met any.
Meanwhile, Xandor's sat there just like working on the finer tunings of Nut's arm.
Yeah.
You're working on an arm. We nearly died from fucking them things that I can't say because I don't want to get us in trouble. And you're working on the arm. Not thinking about how the hell we're going to sort this problem. Big problem.
I already suggested one idea. I have no idea.
Not just blow everything up.
Yeah. The hand sort of like waves as Sandal's like fiddling with like the
Pretty cool.
tendons and stuff.
I mean, if we blow up something, that would at least act as a distraction if we wanted to try and sneak into the mansion.
Well, I do have. Wait. The bag of holding. Xandal, you have it, right?
Yes.
Can I? She'll take it and like pull out all of the mines. I have these.
Yep. Yeah, you have 3 pyroclasm mines.
I could. Queenie.
Queenie appears.
See if you can't pick one of those up.
Queenie hops over, lands on one, starts flapping, and it is possible, but it's slow.
Well, if you could lift one, that means I can.
And it is also very noticeable. It's not like a raven
We're gonna
carrying.
be able to fly high enough to. Well,
yeah, it's not like a raven carrying a rabbit. It's a raven carrying a black stone disc.
How are we going to get them to whatever we're going to blow up?
I still feel like we should assassinate the flaming nuisances.
Yeah, I'm not above assassination. Sometimes it is required. How would we even get to our targets and how would we get to
information we do know?
Yeah.
I think from there we can work out essentially what we're blowing up, assassinating Worthington.
Change it to something less cheerful. Right, continue. I just realised I hadn't changed.
Are we going to include assumptions in the list of what we think we know, like that the crystal has something to do with the eternal daytime that's here?
Oh, we know it has.
Yeah, we know
it.
Yeah, you know the day crystal is the source of eternal day.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the source of anything else, you are unsure.
I mean, it's safe to assume it probably is, but you know, like the whole not being able to use magical item stuff probably is to do with it.
And then
or
we've got
adjacent to it.
bigwigs regularly going to the church.
And then we've also got them bloody guards on the march.
Who is the leader of the guards? Do we know? He'd be well guarded, though. That's the problem with assassinations. Key targets are hard to get to because they're protected by bodyguards and other stuff.
We can maybe get that information. Maybe that's a starting point. Find out who the leader is.
Maybe with a bit of coin, we could.
Who can talk?
I mean, I've done assassinations before. It's not hard to kill someone, but getting to your target's the hardest.
Or like Xandal said, he could be bought, but I'm more keen on assassination myself rather than...
I would rather deal with the problem in such a way that it can't become a problem again. Like, you can pay it off, but then if someone else pays him even more, then he's a problem again. Kill him is not a problem at all.
I mean, if we kidnap him, and I sit in a room with him long enough, I might be able to use the cloak.
You could offer him a
For
pamphlet.
a moment, I genuinely thought you were going to torture him. I was almost proud.
You can offer him.
But then I think that you don't have it in you to torture someone, I don't think.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Apart from
Front
your
tip,
poet
start with
friend.
the fingernails. I mean, anyway, we're not talking about that.
I mean, you've heard my music, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that is torture.
But no, I was just thinking, moving around into secure areas, if we were the head of the guards, then... And if I had the cloak around me, I could also have the bombs under the cloak.
Dumb question.
Hmm.
Oh, your dagger, you said it can connect to another plane. Yes?
Good question.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once per
Once a
long rest.
week,
Once a week, yeah.
I believe it can do
Could
the
we not-
planar.
If you're
Could we
talking about the
just
sun
be
crystal and
connected-
trying to make that go into another plane, we'd already talked about it. It's too big. It can't. It has to be one
No.
continuous slash.
No. It might be a bit of a drastic last call measure, but could we not connect it to a water plane and perhaps flood everything?
I think fire plane would probably be more. Because then you could play it off as it is just the sun.
I
Might
think
just
it
set something on
works.
fire.
The portal would act as a barrier between the two, so I don't think there would be a way for like the elements to go through.
I think
You are-
if you portaled it
it's
to
not-
under the water, maybe it would come through.
It's not something you've ever tested.
Okay.
You've never used that part of the dagger, so you are unsure.
That's fair.
That would be a good way of getting rid of bodies, though. Take out the target, send them to another plane. Or teleport them somewhere else, I don't know. If only there was a way to reveal to the city the shit they're in. But I doubt the rich would do anything anyway, because they get the slaves to do everything, and the slaves would just be like, fuck this shit and leave, right? We should just get all the slaves to leave, then I'll have no workforce.
I'm afraid to
It's
leave.
just they're afraid to leave, and that's what leads me back to the first point of the flaming talent, the flaming whatever they are.
The Radiant Templar.
Them, yeah.
How do we take them out, though? That's the problem. We don't even know who leads them, where he's located, or how to get to him.
We've got people who find us information, right? From memory, I'm sure there's...
I could ask the-
downstairs. You have Hestia, who is a member of the Underground,
Yeah.
who has
that's her.
done. She's done one deal with you so far. You could probably pay her for information or make more deals with her. Otherwise,
that.
you have. Otherwise, Talia, you have spoken to the local Black Mother in the
Yeah,
the
But
in
they
the
won't
Raven's
help
Nook.
us unless they're certain that they're on the winning side. They won't.
No, but you know that they're willing to shelter you or provide information, that sort of thing. You know there are other temples down here in the lower district that have been forced down here by the Pellarites. They may be not necessarily willing to help, but they might be at least friendly. You know there is Giffer and her resistance at the Triferian camp. You know that there is the two members of the resistance in the upper city, the halfling who runs the Wings of Freedom, and the woman who runs that tavern in the visitors district. They helped you get in and out. You know there is Notchgrin out at the Raven Sanctuary, the Knoll, and the children who are with him. They all might be not necessarily recruits, but at least places to gather information or gather more tactical advantage.
Perhaps what we do is we come up with 2 or 3 potential objectives. 3 plans. And we go to each group and we ask for information that could help each of those plans. So that we're not just giving one group everything.
Yeah.
And pay them for the information and see what comes back.
I mean, you don't have to pay the ravens. Roost, they'll just do what I say because I'm the chosen one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 2. We'll pay 2 and hope for the third one to come through.
But what's
do
going
that.
to be our question? Is it going to be where can we find the head of the guards and what's his movements?
Does it have to be an ultimate question, or just give us any information you have?
Yeah.
fair.
Anything that we want to accomplish this goal. Do you have anything that can help with that?
So that's one side. And what would be our... Is there any way of sneaking bombs into
Church?
the church?
We could have a look. There's foundations below here, right?
Mm.
That would
Yeah,
be the
the
best place.
Yeah, the cathedral itself, it reaches down into the lower city, the crystalline cathedral, and that is the location known as the sun's warmth. It is the only place in the lower city that has natural daylight, because it travels down through the crystals of the cathedral and radiates out in that sort of central circle of the lower city. And that's also where the acolytes of Pelor used to give out food and aid to the people of the lower city, but they've stopped doing that since someone ransacked their warehouse.
Oops.
Yes.
So we've done that. Also, if we set a bomb on the foundations of the church, we could endanger and possibly kill a lot of people down here. Down in the...
Yeah, so I'd want to get it actually where the bigwigs are,
Yeah.
if we can. And then should we also ask generally about Worthington and Worthington's estate? Try and get some more information about the comings and goings and...
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we do? I say we probably ask the underground first, considering we're right next to an agent.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
question do you want to give to the underground?
All of them.
All of them, okay.
We're giving all of
We
them
just
to
ask all of the
everyone.
questions to
We're
all
that
of them.
desperate.
And hopefully that
that's fine.
one of them will have answers.
Okay. So are you heading downstairs to see Hestia then?
I'll probably
Okay.
go down and order breakfast in Thieves' Camp so that I'm actually telling her to meet us upstairs, and if she wants to bring food.
Okay. You go down and you ask
'Cause I
for
could do
that.
that.
Was
Seemingly a normal conversation, but I'm actually
Yeah.
talking to her in code.
You go down. There is very few other people here. You get the feeling it is like dead at night. You could see like you got down and Hestia
know,
was like
but
mopping the
Talia's
floors.
paranoid because of the whole
Yeah.
setup. So,
Yeah, she's like mopping the floors and putting like chairs on tables, and she looks at you and goes, "All right, just give me a second." And you head back up, and about 5 minutes later, you hear a knock on the door.
Open the door.
Okay, you open the door, and Hestia is stood there with what looks like a small satchel and a bottle, and she goes, "Okay, well." She throws the satchel in, and it opens up, and you see what looks like a rather stale-looking loaf and some slight cheese with a few green bits on. And she walks in, pulls the cork out the bottle, sits down, and she is small. She is a gnome, but she swigs out the bottle and goes, "I'm guessing this isn't a social gathering."
Nope.
So,
We need to
Like to
fix
employ
this
you.
damn place, and we need favors.
Favors cost money. Or favors.
We know. So we'll tell you
So-
what we want, you tell us the cost. Yes?
Exactly. So, begin. You can't do business without knowing what's going on.
We need to
Well,
know
that's the problem.
everything.
We need to know what's going
We
on.
don't know anything. We need to know everything about Worthington, the church, comings and goings, where the leaders are, if you know what I mean. How to get to
Mhm.
them. What's their vulnerabilities, shit like that.
And for me, the you keep saying their names and I keep forgetting. I'm gonna have
Radiant
to write
Radiant
Templar.
Templar.
Radiant Templars. Yeah.
Yeah, leaders.
Okay. So, Radiant Templars, where they are, I can do you for a free bit of knowledge. The Radiant Templars are housed in the barracks district. And she gets out a piece of paper and draws, like, the shape of the sun on it. Like, like the upper city of Reforp is. And she goes, so, for the barracks district, you're looking at... it would be the southwest spoke. They're all housed in their own district there. Anyone who is a member of the Radiant Templar and is actually a full-on member, not just one of those people who does it to do the guard duty and that sort of thing, they all are housed there in the barracks and trained there.
What
That
about
is their
higher rank?
own. They all live either there or in the nobles district, depending on. Obviously, if they have family, they're allowed to live at home, but they are expected to report to the barracks district at the start of every shift, and at the end of every shift, they all go and come from there. That is on the western side of the Glimmer, so it's, bit tree, bit nice. Keeps them cool whilst they're training. But that's the free bit of information. What are you wanting to know about Worthington exactly?
Everything you know. We
Hmm.
know nothing of him other than that he's disgusting.
Well, what
He
would be
is disgusting,
useful
yeah.
is ways to his mansion that could potentially be
In secret, yes.
in
like
secret
tunnels.
or
You've got
slightly
tunnels,
more
come on.
undetected.
You've got tunnel rats and stuff, drills, yes?
Or
I've got one tunnel that's my smuggling tunnel. It's mine. As for ways to get to his...
or if you know when the house or the property might be
Empty.
less occupied,
So-
empty.
It's not exactly somewhere I keep a key eye on. I could maybe have a few of my boys start watching it for exact movements. That'll obviously cost you. Otherwise, I know a couple of ways that you could maybe get in and around that area without too much notice. But again, information's not free. Make me an offer.
1,000 gold.
What? What? Mr. Moneybags coming in big. Think 100 will
What have
do.
I said about the value of money?
I figure if I offer 1,000 gold, then maybe our next questions as well might have a discount or be free.
What would that cover?
What would that
Put
cover?
1,000 gold down. Put it down. Put it down, and she points to the floor and sort of put it down there. And every time you ask a question and I answer, I'll take the amount that I think it's worth out of the pile. Once the
Fair
pile's
enough.
empty, you can either refill it, or you can end your questions. Agreed?
Agreed.
I take out 1,000 gold.
Okay. She reaches out and takes about 100 pieces and slides them over to herself. So, first off, the Nobles District. Because of the effects of the Glimmer, obviously one half is in the sand, one half is in trees. I will say, though the guards guard the gate, the wall patrols aren't as good as they should be, especially on the desert side. I mean, you want to stand on that wall in the sun, in a desert, all day?
I mean, I'm fire resistant, so doesn't really bother
Yes,
me.
you are, but humans and dwarves and gnomes and
Weaklings.
halflings aren't. Exactly. And elves and half-elves and, the humanoid races. Anyway, they don't always pay as much attention as they should, especially considering very little actually ever comes from the desert route in any sort of direct way. So it's considered a bit of a bum job. It gets given to those who are maybe less than upstanding in their duties. Could be quite
Punishment.
easy to punishment, not necessarily punishment, but more along the lines of it's considered an easy gig.
Mm.
And it's not uncommon for, say, someone to decide to go into the guardhouse at the bottom of the wall and take a nap rather than stand out in that sun all day. Especially with the day crystal as well. The other option you've got is Worthington's estate has a lot of resources going in and out of it. Don't know what it is, don't know where it's going, but he seems to be quite good with trade recently, which means a lot of empty crates and barrels.
Ah, sneaking in as a product.
I could always organise for, a wagon, a couple of empty crates, and the correct forged documents to say they're going to Worthington's estate. Once they get there, the boys offload them at the back door, leave. Who cares what happens to some empty crates?
That might be a good way of getting into the mansion, and then we can.
I feel like the
stuff.
mansion might be a last thing.
The only other thing I can say about Worthington in general, as you said, he's a pig. He is slimy. However, in recent years, he's back a lot. He used to be much more open with things. He used to keep his slaves in a stable outside. He used to give them public whippings. He used to keep a harem, effectively. Yes, not
Oh,
pleasant. He also
God.
used to do the whole palanquin thing you may have seen some of the other nobles doing.
Oh God! Ew! Nobody wants to
However,
see that.
about 4 years ago, he stopped.
Why?
And the reason he stopped is because his daughter got old enough to
Shit
start
eating grin
asking.
spreads across Talia's face. You know the best way to get to a target is to take out the family. Just a thought.
Yes, he is a very doting father, and his daughter is much less invested in the whole rhetoric so far as we're aware.
So he stops doing stuff? Maybe he doesn't want his daughter to know?
We think he doesn't want his daughter to think badly of him. She doesn't leave the house often. When she does, she's always in the. He's always accompanied by what looks like a maid servant. Obviously, when they're outside, they have to wear slave garb. But
Maid servant? I suppose
yes,
we should know what they look like.
no, we've not managed to get a good look at them within the house, unfortunately. But yes, she's normally accompanied by them or Handor, or both.
She could be a way to get to Worthington, though.
It's a possibility. She would probably be, if her father's more violent tendencies were to be brought up to her and actually proven, she could be a good double agent. But like I say,
You've got the brand, the Worthington's brand, right? That would be proof, right?
Is the brand still quite prominent in my scales
Yes.
and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a possibility, but like I say, the problem is she's kept pretty much under house arrest and doesn't go anywhere without supervision.
Yeah.
Often,
So basically, like I said, we need to sneak into the mansion to do that.
Or just up to the mansion and find the right window. Or get a good look at her, and if you have someone capable of sending messages, that's also a possibility. Or write a letter.
Yeah, how would we guarantee the letter would even get to her?
Again, find the right window and throw it at it.
Oh, we could write a letter and then I could get Queenie to deliver it.
Exactly, you have secure methods, I'm sure. I I'm assuming you are a competent group. If I'm incorrect and I need to properly walk you through this, please let me know. But you mentioned the Silver Drill's
bit of
name, so I assumed you were
bit-
competent.
Bit of string of bad luck, shall we say? But
Ah, okay.
the Silver
So-
Drill's no help to us here anyway.
Anyway, moving on from Worthington, unless there's anything else you'd like to plumb information for about him.
What else is there? When did it all start? Like the resources going in and out. Like how long has this been going on?
Would have been about 4, maybe 5 years ago, when it really properly started.
So around the same time with his daughter? Was that 4 years ago, did you say?
No, that was about 4 years ago where we started hiding, like not necessarily hiding things,
More like
but
the unusual like influx of resources and stuff, not like standard. chicory.
that's again about 4 or 5 years ago, around about the time Handor showed up.
Ooh. But what about him? What Handor? Where did he come from? It doesn't seem like he comes from this town.
From what we can tell, he was originally a slave. Good one. He used to fight in the arena. Worthington bought him. And then that's it. As far as we're aware, he bought him and then bought his freedom through the church and made him a free man. And
That
Handor's
seems
been...
a little odd to suddenly be like, I'm going to save this one slave from slavery.
Well, we assumed it was part of his... But improving his image with his daughter.
Yeah, potentially.
We're not certain. There may have been other things behind it. I don't know. Anyway, moving on from Worthington, the church. What is it you're wanting to know there?
Yeah, no.
It wasn't me who was asking about the church.
Sando. I just wanted to blow it up. I did,
Excuse me? What?
If we had the ability to...
It was an
She
idea.
reaches out-
Last
she reaches out-
resort. Last
She
resort.
reaches
Last
out.
resort.
She reaches out, takes 10 gold coins. That's buying my silence on that.
It was the last resort. Not necessarily. Too risky.
We were just positing the thought of if
Spitballing,
we were going to
spitballing.
disrupt the church and the nobles and all the individuals who go there. If there was a minor large explosion in one of the buildings, would that cause enough of a ruckus to change things in town? And if so, which building would you target?
She reaches out, takes 200 gold pieces and pockets it and goes, okay, so, first off, I would not target the Crystalline Cathedral.
No.
That thing is a pilgrimage point. It is conducting services most hours of the day.
Collateral
And
damage is too high then.
no, more along the lines of all the places in the city other than the barracks, that is the place that is going to have the highest concentration of Radiant Templar at any time of day, at any point. It literally is just swarm, like literally the Radiant Templar, as part of their duties, part of their patrol, they have to attend one service a day. Even if they're only in it for the money, they have to go to the cathedral and attend a service as part of their patrol. So at any given point, you probably have 50 to 100 Radiant Templar in that building.
I mean, that would take out a considerable amount of Radiant Templars then, right? But
No more than,
the
well,
problem.
not as much as you know, there's also, yeah, as you say, there's innocents in there, there's the priests, there's all sorts of stuff in there. Talking about priesthood, I mean, you've got the Acolytes district and the Priest district. That's where the actual Acolytes and Priests live. That's both. They're both on the eastern side. The Archdeacon's house is obviously in the Priest district. You could potentially try and do something there. Although I would probably say if you blew up the Archdeacon, I think you would galvanize most of the city against you rather than for you.
Yeah, that's the problem with rebellion. Need
The
something that's
college?
going to energize everyone to stand up and fight.
I mean, the College of the Divine, maybe? Obviously, it used to be a place of learning for all the religions. Now it's just for Pelor. Could be somewhere where if you disrupted it, it could cause some ruckus, depending on what sort of disruption you caused. Just an explosion will probably just cause the Templar to lock everything down and double down on patrols. Yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to... I'm not really the best one here. I am a smuggler and a rogue. I am not a revolutionary or a charismatic speaker or a plotter of downfalls, unfortunately. I can point you to key places of interest, but that's about all I can do. If you're wanting to... I don't know, are you wanting to discredit the church? Are you wanting to...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Discredit
I mean,
them,
probably...
reveal their little secrets in a way
I mean,
you don't have to actually say it, so that we don't get killed doing it, because you can't actually say
the most likely place for secrets to be found would be the college, because obviously I do know that the High Master of the college, though he is a Pelorite, he is against the destruction of knowledge. Thus, though they have changed a lot of the scriptures and things to make Pelor as all-powerful as possible, he has kept things like the originals and other texts from other religions and so on, so there may be something you can get there and circulate that might help. I don't know. The Archdeacon's house is likely to have any personal records that are shaming. They were not going to be kept in the cathedral. Other than that, I can't really say. You might be able to find some more kind members of the clergy amongst the acolytes and the priests, but again, you would have to do that on a person-by-person basis.
Just out of curiosity,
Yes.
on the talk of disruption and the like, has any attempt been made to destroy that crystal
Sun crystal, yeah.
in the past?
I have a feeling it's very heavily.
The outcomes and results of like
Failed attempts.
any damage.
When the Pelorites first took over and they began rebuilding the city, when they got that crystal, it would have been about 10 years ago now. There was various people who attacked it and people who climbed it. There's pilgrims who still do try to climb up there to claim pieces as relics and so on. They obviously normally fall to their deaths and make interesting splatter marks. I remember some people who made a homemade catapult once and launched something at it that cracked it briefly. There was a time when a chunk fell off it. That was about 5 years ago, but then that was when they did a lot of work on it and replaced pieces, and since then it's been shining brighter and stronger. But nothing in recent years. The city is too under the heel now for anyone to act up in that respect.
Say under the heel.
Well, indoctrinated, towing the line, not wanting to cause trouble, that sort of thing.
Trying to survive.
Until sort of 10 years ago, the other religions still occasionally had temples up in the upper districts. They weren't all forced underground yet. They still had some say in the ruling of the city, and thus insurgent groups of zealots of heretic religions were still a thing. How much of that was actually true and how much of that was Pellarites dressing up in different religious wear and causing problems to give reasons.
Credit them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, there was still groups then, but obviously as they got forced more and more underground, they gained less and less foothold. And
What about dressing up,
ret-
playing them at their own game? We dress up as Pellarites and then just murder a bunch of people.
I mean, you
I am
could.
joking. I am joking, of course.
I actually have another idea.
Oh,
Nothing quite gets people up like the promise of power.
true.
I think spread a lie.
Like what?
Something along the lines of there's actually great power in that cathedral should anyone get hold of it. Personal power. Personal gain. Maybe tweak it a little bit and say that the Radiant Templars actually know of this secret and are hiding it from them.
Would you have any way of spreading that? With your little network?
Letters, pamphlets,
I could do.
a fake letter.
Although I've just had a very interesting idea.
Well, we haven't got many, so feel free to.
I mean, the Pellarites and the Archdeacon always go on about how this city is the favoured of Pellor, and how Pellor watches over it. What if Pellor started giving signs?
Like, how would we do that?
I mean, I'm assuming
I
some
have
of you
an
have some
idea.
ability in illusion magic or something
No.
similar. Not necessarily illusion magic, you could put it on using whatever you want, but if you suddenly had a loud, booming voice claiming to be Pellor, shouting
that
out
I
over
can
the
do.
city
That I can
and
do.
saying things, then the church either has to run with it or discredit it. And seeing as they say it's, this is the favoured city of Pellor, why wouldn't Pellor be speaking to the citizenry?
Val
You'd
just
have to-
like... Sorry.
You'd have to play it properly, but it's an idea.
Val sits there and just, like, wraps the cloak around him, and suddenly he's like a humanoid but glowing. Because it's an illusion that I have in my mind that I can turn the cloak into. So I'm just glowing gold, but the one thing that I have out of my cloak is my shield of the sun.
I mean, that's pretty good. If you had him stand in, one of the
And
squares.
I can make my voice boom really loudly, but
I have minor illusion.
The only thing I would say is you'd have to run quick before the Templar got there.
Yeah.
Or have some way of vanishing mysteriously.
I
I
have
make
a
myself
more subtle idea. As Xandal just takes a bit of the green cheese and just be like, he tinkers a little bit and then just sort of like puts it to one side where it whispers, Pellor compels you to remove the deacon.
It's a good trick.
It's got to be convincing.
Yeah, we need to have some.
It wouldn't be on a
proof to
piece
it.
of cheese. It wouldn't be a piece of cheese, but
I mean, you
just a
do that
whisper
in
in
enough.
the back of someone's mind.
You do that in enough noble households. They're all power grabbing. You might be able to cause something.
Yeah. If all it takes is a whisper in the back of the mind.
Or you can
it's
say
enough to make people second guess themselves. Yeah. I've been hanging around you lot too much. You're making me.
This is good, Sand.
And also,
finally learning.
On the front of disappearing quickly, I do have Arcane Gate.
And the portal dagger.
Anyway, giving
Yeah.
you some ideas there.
Yeah. Great.
Finally, the influential figures, was it you wanted to know?
Yeah, leaders of stuff.
Okay, she takes
We know about the
50.
deacon. We know about the leader of the Templars-ish.
Do we?
Do you?
Do we?
No,
Well,
he didn't
that's the one
actually
thing.
say.
The leader of the
Okay.
Templars, the leader of the church, the leader of the city.
Okay. She takes 50 gold. This is mostly common knowledge, so I won't charge you much for this. So the leader of the Templars, there's recently been a new one instated, the commander. Her name is Gina Hastari.
My notes open.
Long, platinum blonde hair, tanned skin, member of minor noble house, but has done well for herself.
Shit. Hang on. Oh, fuck,
Uh,
where's my app? Oh, there it is.
Very accomplished fighter.
What's her name?
Gina Hastari.
Gina Astari. She's
And-
the leader of the
Radiant.
Templar.
She came into power about 6 months ago. Since then, since she came to power, she's been pushing the Templar to take a more hard line against exotic races and slaves. The ones who take pleasure in beating slaves or causing problems for exotic races are normally the ones who are closest to her inner circle.
So,
She's definitely a problem.
definitely a target.
Next up, you would obviously have the Archdeacon himself. The Archdeacon is Grayson Haskell. He's human, probably in his late 80s. Very old, very, very wrinkly, very tanned skin, bleached hair, carries a staff made of crystal and wears, golden robes and that sort of thing. He's the one who also rules the city. He is in charge. He and the upper deacons of the church. He's the one who's pushed a lot of the current laws into place. He was actually he was the Archdeacon at the time of the Week of the Sun, or as we in the lower city call it, the Week of Bloody Sun.
That's when the city was sunk to the ground, and the new one built.
But that was the week when the Pellarites got enough power to begin making changes, and they did it in such a way that it was, let's just say that a lot of free people of the exotic persuasion became slaves during that week. And Talia, you think back to what Gunter said and how on a dime everything sort of changed overnight, and you get the feeling that was the beginning of that week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's him. Like I say, he's either normally at the Crystalline Cathedral, visiting people in the Nobles District, or at his own domicile in the Priest's quarters, in the Priest District. Other influential figures, obviously there's various different nobles who you could speak to, but obviously they're all pretty much...
Shitheads.
Yeah, there's the odd one or two who are a bit more lenient.
Maybe give us the names of the ones who are a bit nicer?
Again, it's not something I've kept much of an eye on. It would have to be something I'd do some research on, send some men around, actually watch, because it's the thing of, are they just nice in public? or are they actually nice?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. I can't 100% say they are because I
If they
haven't
could turn out to be a
done
dick. Yeah.
the full looky-loo into them yet. Otherwise, I mean, there's the head of the arena. Obviously, they're kind of the head of the Dawn Coliseum. Not exactly totally influential, but obviously has access to a lot of trained fighters. And is could be a bit mercenary. She's a priest of Pelor. Shyla Morningstar is her name.
Wow.
She is a noble
Nebula herself. Sorry. Shyla.
Morningstar.
Yeah.
She is a noble, but obviously she works with the people in the Colosseum,
She's
so
a piece of fellow too?
yes, every key place, as much as possible, is run by the clergy. They try to keep their fingers in every
Interesting for a
pie.
church to want arena, though.
Well, considering most of the people who fight in the arena for the Blood Games are either slaves, exotic races, or, members of the Radiant Templar,
Mm.
kind of makes sense.
And if you
Yes.
provide entertainment for downtrodden people once in a while, they might less likely to
Revolt.
form an uprising.
Yeah. I mean, she's also quite close to her current champion, Grimscythe, Hobgoblin. Don't know whether there's anything going on there, but
Ooh, the Hobgoblin. Well, that would be a scandal to get out, wouldn't it? Getting intimate with an exotic race.
potentially. Speaking of that, if you ever needed somewhere to hide or someone to leverage for something, she reaches out, takes a bit more gold. I do know in the upper city, the Divine Radiance Tavern, run by human couple, Rinda and Rose Gladly.
Hang on. I can only type so fast, and you're going too fast. Right. Next NPC. Jesus. And I'm having to be vague as hell, so I'm probably not going to even understand my notes. But right, next person. Name.
They run the Divine Radiance Tavern. They are the married couple, Rinda and Rose Gladly.
Rose Gladly.
It's the main...
Of the... what? Radiant?
The Divine Radiance Tavern. And it's the main hangout of the Radiant Templar. It's sort of like the cops bar sort of thing. But I do happen to know that Rose isn't happy in her marriage and keeps a nice young half-orc male slave by the name of Grimtooth and abuses him considerably less than the others.
Grimtooth?
Grimtooth, yes. And I know they take...
Rose, yes?
Yes, they take sojourns out to the tavern stables regularly together. Do I need to be less subtle about that, or
They're
did
fucking,
the
yes,
point
we
get
get
across?
Yeah.
Yes, there we go. So that's somewhere you could maybe go for that.
Also be another person we could humiliate by revealing that they're being intimate with exotic races.
Or someone you could leverage to try and get information from amongst the Radiant
Or blackmail
Templar.
her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Other than that, just thinking through, there's not a huge amount of other places. Obviously, there's the owner of the brothel in the entertainment district. She's normally fairly amenable and hides and smuggles
What's her name again?
people. You're asking me a question that I don't have up on my document right now.
Got him, guys. I got the PM. He wasn't ready. I just didn't have it written down myself, so.
Busty McBusterson.
Here we go. Garcina.
Garcina?
Darcina, the
Oh,
elven mistress.
Darcina.
Yeah, elven mistress of the brothel Radiant Kisses. And she's known to help
The what?
female slaves. Radiant Kisses.
What's with Radiant in every bloody name? Now, this is so unoriginal.
It's kind of the point of the city.
Radiant sheets?
Kisses.
Sis.
This is sorry.
But
It's
she's
really hard
been-
to write notes like this and try and getting as much information as possible in a short period of time before you give me the next piece.
She's been known to be kind and helpful to female slaves in trouble. That's pretty much all the things I know about the upper city and the influential figures up there without sending people out and actually doing some deeper digging. Lower city, obviously there's the Navinetters, although not seen much of them around recently.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a pity about that. Such a shame.
Oh. Yes.
Obviously, the Raven's Nook, the Black Mother there, Vizana, could be
Yeah, she'll do
helpful.
what I want.
If you wanted food, the Fungus Dome, maybe that's a Arawe temple. Grimple is the head priest there, or the Spore Warden, as he's called.
Grim. I swear I hate doing information diving because then I'm just stuck here making notes. Grimpool what?
He's Grimple the Spore Warden.
Or
Grimple's still skinny.
They give out
leader of the what temple?
the Fungus Dome.
Fungus.
It's a temple of Arawe.
How the fuck do you spell that? Temple of
Arawai. Ara.
I was so close. I was so close to spelling it right. I put a Y on the end instead of an I.
But yes, that the Fungus Dome is one of the few places that hands out food down here,
What was
other
the
than
temple
the
before
Sun's
that?
Walk. The temple before that, the Raven's Nook.
Oh, dead.
The Passion Palace probably won't be much help for anything other than a distraction. And you all sort of like, as she's talking, you see Ert's face just go scarlet as she just buries her head, having been to the Passion Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some shit.
Moradin's mines won't be any good for you unless you can persuade them out of their mines and forges, but I doubt it.
Thought I would say this, but I wish that I guess was here.
There's that
Moradin.
madman Ptolemy. His potion shop could be useful for you.
what's that?
Potion shop.
Strange elf man, very
Underground, yeah?
frazzled looking.
Or
Yeah.
above ground.
Constantly muttering about black powder, but
Is he in the underground or is he above?
he's below ground.
I think I've seen him before, to be fair.
I think
He's a
we've
little
actually.
You have bumped into him before, yeah.
Do you know where his
But
potion shop is?
yeah, I can. If you've got a map, I can make a note of it. Yes.
Do we have a map?
You could quickly draw one.
Quickly pull one out of my ass. I'm sure we.
She gets out a piece of paper and starts writing down directions, basically.
Cool.
And she just sort of goes. Let me see. Where did I end up putting him? Oh, that he's on the southwestern side, just a little ways away from where the slave market entrance is.
Northwestern side near Slave Market. Okay.
But yes, that's all the influential figures and people that I can think of off the top of my head, without sending people out to do a more detailed run.
Do we dirt on the deacon, really?
I
Any
mean,
dirty secrets like those other people?
The Archdeacon, probably, but he is the Archdeacon, and having that much power buys a lot of quiet
Silence.
and
Yeah.
hiding. There probably is, but you would either have to find it yourself or find someone willing to loosen their tongue for enough coin.
We appreciate everything you've told us so far. It's
How much
Well,
money
definitely
would
going to
it
be helpful.
But by this point, there's about 400 gold pieces left in the pile. You've taken about 600 so far, and she jingles it and goes, "Well, I'm happy for your coin, if I'm honest. This will be a nice little
Anything
nest egg if I need to leave the city quickly." Well, you tell me. Is there anything else you want to know? I've gone over the 3 various things you gave me just then.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't know what to do. Like, we need to destabilize the power and stuff, but we can't do it with just us group. We need people to help. We need the other temples to help, the underground to help. Like, us all team up. We need more people, more men.
Well, you've either got to find some way to do that, or yeah, I'm all out of suggestions there. Again, I'm a smuggler.
Okay,
I'm-
I'm plotting as we speak.
Alright.
So am I. I've got an
Enough
idea.
for you?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, that'll be enough this one. We've still got to talk to the matron, lady, whatever the fuck.
All right. Well, if you need anything else, let me know. But for now, I'm going to bed. Thanks for the gold.
Enjoy.
Good night. And she pockets all the gold she's taken, gets up, and walks out, closing the door behind her.
Fucking
I can put the 400 gold back into my pot.
Pipes up. Just had thought,
yes.
if we need hiding place or place for meetings, no one knows the netters have left yet, and we have
I
keys
was
to their
trying to say that at some
market.
point.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Cause less suspicion, I guess.
Yeah.
Not we're going to convince anyone to be like, hey, meet us at the slavers market. We're not going to try and make you slaves, you know?
No, I don't think we need to do that. But it's easy enough for you guys to walk in there pretending you're slaves.
Yeah. With you, you can be our...
Yeah, I'll have caught you.
Magical
Um,
darkness doesn't work in this area, does it?
No.
With
Uh,
the radiant light from the crystal and everything.
It doesn't work in the upper city. It would work in the lower city,
Okay. Never mind that idea then.
and it would work. It would work inside a building.
Right.
So I
but
couldn't
not
just cast darkness
outside
on
of it.
the sun crystal, because that wouldn't work.
Mm.
It would just
Well,
dispel
no.
it.
Oh,
Well,
well, I
you don't
was
think so?
the idea I had was go and find Matey with the black powder. See if we could try and soup up what we already have explosives wise.
Mm.
Attach the explosives to the crystal. I go up to the crystalline cathedral. Pretend to be Pelor. Booming voice. Shame. Cast magical darkness inside of it so they
How are you
experience
going to boom
darkness.
your voice? I can boom my voice, but I can't imitate your voice.
I think I've got.
So, unless you want Pello. Do you have Armatae?
No.
Is it a racial trait like that? Unless you want Pello to sound like a woman.
Well, I could just scream and just say shame, magical darkness. The explosion goes off, the crystal gets damage, and I try and book it. So
I
they
don't think
think that their
crystals-
god is turning against them.
They said like that it was damaged and they replaced it, and there's never been anything since. I don't think you can.
They haven't
don't
tried
think
anything
it's
since, is what they said.
I don't think you can destroy it. I think it's too risky because if it doesn't destroy it, the ruse is ruined.
Mm.
We should do smaller things.
I
Be
came
more
up with a
insidious
speech
about
for you.
Yeah.
Did you?
People of Rethorpe, my beloved children, I am Palor, and hear my words. There are individuals who will slander my name and destroy everything you have. Seek and destroy them before they destroy you. List of all the names. Be rid of them, and I will bestow more power on those true to my name.
That's not bad, actually, Fiona.
I'm a diplomat. Of course it's not bad.
Yes, you're right.
Goes, but if we name people like the Archdeacon and influential people, are they actually going to believe it? Would it maybe be better to leave it vague and start a witch hunt?
Good point. Means you don't have
Start an inquisition amongst them, and they're searching for
If they're looking internally,
traitors
they want to be
amongst
looking...
them.
Yeah,
Mm.
that is a good idea, Bert. Did
Are
you become so smart?
the leaders like Worthington actually loyal to Pelor?
I doubt it. They're probably just using Pelor as an excuse so they could do whatever they want.
Hmm.
But we'd need to prove that they're not fake.
Maybe. I
The-
mean,
Because
with those
if
words
they
going
are,
out,
if we can get them to fight amongst themselves, that would certainly be a big help. Of course, if they're not, then, well, they're not going to bother, but...
The question
with
is
that
the
statement going out.
Well, if we get enough of the normal people to be like, you need to do something about this, they want to be able to just be like, we'll just ignore it. Because the people will be like, well, then you're not the faithful ones.
Hmm.
They'd have to act. They can't ignore it. Surely.
the
Maybe.
question would be, if I gave this speech, how would I magically disappear?
We've got the portal dagger,
Why would you have to be there? Xandor makes recording devices. Why not just record it, hide it in there, and remotely activate it to give booming speech during middle of a sermon?
That's not a bad idea.
That could work, and as well with my ability to infuse tiny items such as rocks, pebbles, random brick, to be able to create whispers,
Creates the effect we want, but with no risk or anything tying
Would
it
you
to us.
be able to get a big one that's a big booming voice, but then have stones everywhere that echo it like a whisper, so more people hear it? So not just the people in the church, but other people hear it too? Could they go off all at once?
How
Could
do
we do that?
these how do these sending stones work? Is that just a whisper, or is that
Yeah,
Like-
so for sending stones, you have to be holding it to receive the message.
So
right?
we just need a lot of
It wouldn't
messages
just work as a
inscribed on a lot
speaker.
of objects scattered around the
No.
city, and then one big one.
I can affect with my infusing. I can affect 4 non-magical items. All this time, the cheese is still like dictating that.
Yeah.
Hell
But-
wants the
But
deacon.
Xandor, Xandor, you made that device for the underground.
I did. I can
Could you
pretty
not
much make
go?
another one fairly quick.
Could you not maybe go and speak to dwarves and show them schematics and have them make lots?
I could
They got
do,
like
but
me to
we'd need
believe
to know which
a
one.
device or just a random object emitting a voice. I don't know.
Device?
Depends on how you hide the device. If you hide it well, could just be random object.
We'd also have to discover which dwarves would be able to make these and keep them secret, rather than
Don't
suddenly
tell
spilling
dwarves.
Convince them to make them, but don't really tell them what it does.
Pay enough money.
Could do.
Also, we have group of people who we know will help us distribute in hidden camp.
I mean, if the object's small enough, I can fly it somewhere. As a St. Queenie.
But I meant to spread them around whole city and message plays everywhere all at once. More believable.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we can add more impact and do the other things, like I said. There's been a lot happening while we've been here. We could always blame it on someone else
Yes.
who may be against Pala. Drop in some names. Keep the witch hunt going.
Rile them up, yeah.
Why don't we say it's the Faceless?
That's a sensitive subject right now. One problem at a time.
But the Faceless are known to most ruling people, right?
Are they?
Well, Barras knew
You
about them, and the ruler of Ingbrook knew
Brass
about
only knew
them.
about them because they had his father. Remember?
Yeah, but they knew about them, and the Underground knew about them, and the Underground said that we did them a favour by getting rid of them.
I mean, actually, if we can get people to start hunting the Faceless, that would be good. Two birds with one stone, then.
If they're hunting some hidden organisation that they can't ever find...
Keeps them on alert.
Keeps them looking
But
elsewhere.
that may, on the counterpoint, that may distract them away from the fact that there's traitors amongst their midst.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was hoping to point them towards...
We want to point them inwards,
Okay.
not outwards.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea. It's a good idea, but just not.
Kind of
I
want
mean, if the initial plan fails,
That could be a plan B.
It's a good way of pointing blame. So it's not completely out of
the realm of possibility.
As you're all saying this, Sandal's like pulling like very.
Is it me?
Was
no,
it me?
we've all
Are we
frozen.
back?
Yeah.
I think that was a Discord blip.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a Discord blip.
Sorry, Aaron. You were
while we were talking,
yeah.
you were grabbing, and then it cut off.
As we're all discussing this, Sandal's already pulling like components and bits of metal and stuff out of his bag and has already started to begin working on crafting the voice.
Oh, also,
transmitters.
we noticed things aren't working properly in city, like sendings and that sort of thing. What if we have ways out of city? What if we tested how far away we had to be to get things across properly and tried to get help?
Thing is, what help
Who would we call?
No one will come without evidence.
I mean, I don't want to be paranoid, but there was the things that cannot be named in Maham. Who's to say what the situation back home is? They could be just as much the shitter as us. I didn't think of that. Well, Gunter didn't say anything, so I'm assuming everything's fine, but... that is a worry.
Is there anyone who owes us favors?
I mean, I could ask my old resistance group, the Talon, to come and help. Maybe they might.
We could ask.
I could convince them. Maybe we three reform like we did.
We could possibly ask a dragon friend of ours.
He doesn't get involved though.
There's lots of treasure here.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's also not near the ocean.
Yeah. It's not really his.
I'm just trying to think of allies that we actually have, and like.
Yeah, even Vienna's sitting there going, "Who owes me any favors?" Nope, nope.
What about someone who likes to play jokes?
Equinox.
I mean, I've met him. I could send him a message.
We could ask and see whether he would like to cause some mischief. You never know.
Might end badly. Fey deal's not always good.
I mean, what could be worse than having the knowledge that I have already?
I could just end up with pink hair. Who knows?
Don't ever say what can be worse.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Or maybe the Winter Court might be able to do something.
I mean, can you imagine Lady Winter getting into the barrack blocks?
Oh, now be surrounded by soldiers.
I'm just saying,
That's
like,
not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Can they get in though? Because how powerful is this thing? If they
Well, they
can't
don't
go-
necessarily have to get in. They just have to cause problems.
But can they? How powerful is
And
this getting out?
is it the question of they're not able to get in because they can't see, but if they are pointed in the right direction?
It's
Oh.
worth asking. It is worth asking.
I will give it a go.
So
I'm
we need
Well,
to
I
get
think
out of the city.
I think we need to leave city first, yeah?
Yes.
Yes. We need to. How are we going to get out? I guess we can go and talk to our smuggling friends to see if they can get us out.
I was going to say there was routes out, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You know there is
I mean, yeah.
there is a route out through the Triferian camp, or there is a route out through the Netters, the slave market. There was a route out there.
Do we want to get to the Netters? That's a safe place right now. And there's a way out. And we don't have to keep relying on risking the Triferian camp.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't want to expose them before they can mobilize.
That's sort of what I'm cautious of. I don't
Yeah.
want to bring attention
But if
to
there's a way out from the netters, I think, considering we know that there are no netters there, that is probably the best course of action.
Mhm.
Least likely to get us caught. Just getting there.
Okay. So are you setting off from the Gloomstalker Inn to the slave market, yeah?
basically. Yeah. In
Yeah.
Yep.
disguise.
Why not?
Quickly bundling yourselves up in various gear and making your way down and out of the tavern, you go out into the fairly silent streets. Again, from what Hestia said, it is supposedly quite late at night now.
Okay.
And as you start making your way through, you can hear in this cavern the echoes of what sounds like patrols, but there are much less than there were earlier on in the day.
Wait, where are we going,
It's pretty-
Cavern? We're in the caverns?
Yeah, you're in the caverns, you're heading to the slave market.
Go. Just making sure I spell the right thing.
Quickly making your way through, could you all make... Are you going stealthily or are you just moving?
I say we go stealthily. There's no point in getting caught this.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth checks then for me, please.
Yay, we actually get to roll something.
21!
Stealth.
Can I pop a lurker licorice?
You may.
Oh my
Pass
gosh.
without a trace.
What does pass without a trace do?
Gives you
Plus
10 to stealth.
Okay.
Is
I
that
believe the
just-
lurker licorice only lasts for like 10 minutes rather than the full hour.
I'm as stealthy
That's,
as
that is just a personal
Yeah, 10
thing,
minutes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
The lurker
Keeping
licorice
a wheel
only
of
works.
licorice as an action grants a user the
Ooh,
effects
okay.
of pass without a trace on themselves.
So that
for
would be
10.
32 for Val.
How dare you roll higher than me as a paladin?
And rolls a 3.
Blossom is the shadows.
Okay. So there was more successes than there were failures there, and there were some very good successes. So, Vienna, you're thinking it's a drow slave market. I'm a drow.
to be
Why
quiet.
am I trying to hide that I'm going to the slave market? You're just
Yeah.
walking along completely casually.
It,
Uh,
might actually be worth not stealthing, because if it
If
is
we're all being
noticed that there's,
sneaky around
well,
us.
I'm thinking if
Surprise,
it's
Slayer
noticed that there's still traffic going from where the netters come from, then it might give the illusion that they're still there.
That's
Okay.
not a bad idea.
But-
Okay, so we're retconning the stealth?
No, not necessarily. It's just that's a possibility.
You've got an excuse if you get caught more than anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, making your way through the streets, you eventually and quietly make your way to the entrance to the slave market. Vienna, you quickly pull out the key ring that you were given by the netters as they left and find the correct key and unlock the main doors. Quickly ushering everyone inside, glancing around, you don't see any patrols or people watching you. And entering in, you close and lock the door behind you. You will
Cool.
find yourselves in the long entryway with the single desk at the front, the plush red carpet leading down to the T-junction of doors, one which leads to the auction room, one which leads to the slave pens, and one which you've and Vienna and Ertno leads to sort of the living area, the temple, that sort of thing.
Before anyone steps any further, Vienna will grab Val and says, "There's rooms you probably shouldn't go in. I'll tell you where they are, just for your own sanity."
Okay.
What did you do down here, Vienna?
I didn't. Remember, this is a slave market.
Oh yeah, probably some nasty stuff then.
Yes. So I'm just aware that it might be bad memories for Val.
I mean,
Okay.
I've got to face Worthington at some point. Like, I've got to deal with my past, and
You might get to kill him, then you get satisfaction, so...
these memories can't always be triggering. I've got to be able to use them as strength at some point, so...
Well, I've warned you they're there. It's up to you.
Appreciate it.
So,
And with that, yeah, Fiona kind of guides everyone as to where everything is where.
yep. Avoiding probably the Temple of Lolth, because, you know, you don't know
I
what the
don't know
priestess
them.
actually left behind.
Yeah.
Probably just toys lining the walls and whips and chains and God
I
knows
was
what.
I was thinking more along the lines of spiders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't want to mess with spiders.
Yeah. Yeah, though they've left, that is still technically a sacred place of Lolth. She's going to have set some form of defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not mess with Lolth.
Yeah.
We've got enough,
You-
we've got enough enemies right now. We don't need a god on our isn't it?
You go into that sort of living area with the tables and the small meditation areas, and at the end of it, that ladder that you know leads up to the surface outside the walls.
So
And
yeah,
there's
I'll up there.
no food left here, but there is water. They've the netters didn't take there was a fresh water supply, so you've got water, and obviously you can go out to get food if you need it.
There we go. And there's the ladder up.
Okay, are you guys going up now, or are you wanting to do something else first?
So what do we want to just venture out into the desert to see if we can communicate with, what did we say, Equinox, Lady Winter?
Anybody.
I potentially message the Talon, see if, even if they can't offer aid, they might be able to give an insight or tips that could help the resistance. After all, we freed one city, we can free another. Yeah.
There was, like, vaguely remembering, there wasn't, like, sub-zero temperatures at night in the desert area when we came
You
through
haven't
it.
been into the desert area. You came from the western side of the Glimmering through fields of farmland and meadows. You guys
Okay.
have not yet ventured into the desert except for when you went out or through the Triferian camp
And then that
entrance.
was just
Oh, I think Discord's gone again.
Another
We're
blip.
back.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was
good.
like, what happened?
this is great having Discord blipping all the time.
Yeah.
Is it worth sending somebody that has resistance to cold out just in case there is like a temperature differential that could affect us?
Yes, but the problem is the only person who's resistant to cold really doesn't do well in the sun. So a bit
I
of a
mean,
problem.
Val's cold resistant as well because of the shield.
Am I? Oh,
You should be.
I
Yeah,
thought it was
so
just heat
Can't
resistant.
I also have the cloak.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
doesn't Sandal have?
And
some sort of
Zandal has
weathering
has the weather cloak.
I guess
Oh,
me and Zandal could go out first and see what happens.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've got an idea anyway.
I'm fire resistant, but I'm not cold resistant, so.
Okay. Shall we
Okay.
go
I
up then?
think we may be able to measure where the messages will start working from.
Okay.
How?
He kind of removes his glove, revealing the mark, the triangular mark.
Hazlitt's eye.
Illuminati! Sorry, anytime you mention the one.
Hazlitt's eye.
The Illuminati tattoo, not the dragon one, right? Okay.
he'll start chatting to you the minute you're within range, won't he?
Oh yeah, little
Yeah,
talker.
he-
He's probably
he-
desperate
he
to
leaves
whisper
us.
in your ear again, huh?
He'll be screaming by
exactly.
the time you get out there.
Yep.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Xandal out first, and I'll follow him up.
What do the
Yeah.
rest of us
Okay.
do? Just hide out here?
Been tootling along.
Okay. You climb up the ladder for roughly.
I
do
will give
one of
guidance.
you, I was going to say, do one of you
help
two
him.
still? You two have the ring, don't you? So you can actually. Do they still work? Here?
Yeah.
The
Oh, ring
limited
of
telepathy
telepathy.
rings, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they do
So
still
short,
work.
I think short range stuff so far is okay. It's just long range shit. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
So you can always use the
Well, then-
telepathy ring. To...
Yeah, but wasn't it short range? How far
85
was it?
feet.
Yeah, that's
Well, you better hope that it's
So,
not more than 85 feet.
from
out of the
if-
ship then.
From the top of so the ladder itself is about 80 feet long from where
okay.
you are underground. So from the top of the ladder, if someone stood at the bottom of the ladder, they'll be able to telepath to you. But if they go anywhere past that, they won't be able to.
I mean, Xandal wants to test about the range of the effects. I want to go up and check the temperature. So, worst case scenario, I go up, check the temperature, come down and tell everybody it's okay, or no, it's freezing cold out there. And then people can follow back up the ladder.
Okay.
Okay.
Whereas
enough.
Xandal can start walking.
Okay. So, Sandal and Val, you climb up the 80 feet of this ladder, reaching the top. There is a trapdoor.
Don't you open that
Trapdoor.
I'm so glad I wasn't the only one that had that in their head. Yes! We're both old as fuck. Let's go!
Oh, dear.
Such a cheat. We don't make kids shows like that anymore, man. It's so
Yeah, I'll open the chat now.
Okay.
Did you
As
check the
you-
traps on the trapdoor?
Un-
Did you
as
check
you
the traps?
as you unbolt and go to open the trapdoor, I do need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
You were joking.
I don't remember that being trapped.
Yeah. Well, maybe they locked it after they left.
Or maybe they've come back and trapped it.
Oh, shit. No, shit.
16 plus 3.
10. I don't know why it rolled.
Oh.
Plus 3. It'd be 10. Because I don't
The
have
10.
advantage on it.
10's fine. As you open up the trapdoor and the cold wind blows, you manage to resist the urge to shiver.
It's cold.
Oh, it's cold up there. Great. He's like, oh, I'm gonna play and make you think it's trapped because I'm a dick. Okay.
As you climb out into this small cave built into a desert dune and walk out, you can see around you the dunes are still lit due to the day crystal being nearby, and though it is chilly, it's not cold. It was just that initial blast of wind with a bit of chill that made you shiver a little bit. But otherwise, it is fine near the city due to the day crystal providing sunlight. You get the feeling if you went further away and out into the desert proper, that may change.
I will go a little bit, having gone out, experienced that, I'll go back down the ladder a little bit and just go and explain the temperature difference.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what are we doing?
And
Well,
I'll stand at the top of the ladder watching Xandal just in case something happens and he gets attacked or something and I can rush in.
Taken out by a something or other. Something really random. Owlbear.
Abominable
Fraser gets him.
snowman or I don't know.
Abominable snowman in a desert.
Thank you, Fraser.
Abominable sandman then.
I
That
was
needs to be a
Careful,
thing. That needs to be a
careful,
thing. Don't give him
careful.
ideas.
Careful or I'll make a dune mimic appear.
I mean, we haven't faced a mimic in a while, and we
Or an oasis mimic. They're more fun.
I was actually thinking about the shark things that we keep always triggering.
Sandworms.
Oh, the bullet.
The bullet.
Bullet.
Oh,
we
Bullet's
haven't
the
faced one of them
worst.
for a while.
I don't want to get taken out by a bullet again. That sucked.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
oh,
Xandal,
well.
you
Annihilated me.
start walking, and after 10 minutes, you're starting to get to the point where you are losing sight of Val, stood at the top of this ladder. Still nothing.
I imagine Val's entirely lost sight of me then.
Yeah. Do you keep walking or do you wait for the others?
I'm gonna sort of like slow it down. I mean, the fact that I'm
Vienna
slower
will-
than everyone
I was
anyway.
going to say, Vienna will call up to Val and say, do you want to chain this if Xandal's going out too far? Do you want to keep an eye on him and I keep an eye on you?
Yeah, that could work.
So Vienna kind of climbs up the ladder, keeps an eye on Val, who's keeping an eye on
Okay.
Xandal.
And I start
And then
hovering
it'll-
towards Xandal
More
like
like
Death Note
Mitchell.
style.
Okay, Rook.
Okay. So Xandal, you keep walking. By this point, you think you're probably a good 2 miles from the city. The light from the day crystal is starting to fade, and it is the chill is from the rest of the desert is starting to set in now, and you can now actually see there is a half moon in the sky, providing a decent amount of light as well. And just as you are getting to the point where you're thinking you should maybe turn back, just as you reach 2.5 miles out from the city, that voice at the end of a long corridor starts to get just a little louder.
I'm gonna walk probably about another mile if I can.
Yep.
Or up to a mile until it's coherent enough that I can reach Hazlitt and Hazlitt can reach me.
Okay. As you reach the top of a dune, where as you turn around, you are looking out over the desert, and in the distance you can see Reforp and the day crystal shining above it. Hazlitt's voice finally comes through. What the hell have you been doing?
Your mum. Sorry.
Well, enough.
It has to be said, I'm sorry.
A long story, slavers, magic crystal that basically blocks out the night.
What? Okay. I mean, I've been able to catch vague glimpses now and then, although it's been fuzzy.
Yeah, we've pretty much spent the past
Xandal,
days.
make a wisdom saving throw.
He's going to try reading your
saving
mind.
throw.
That's probably easier than telling
You
him,
don't get a
just-
plus, I'm too far back.
I mean, if
Yeah.
I'm aware that Hazlitt's just trying to gain all the insight,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna let him.
Yeah, okay. So you choose to fail. You feel like
Yeah.
something like almost like the mental feeling of something like flicking pages in your mind,
No,
and it's just like
Run book, run book,
So-
run book!
don't look at the book! Let him see the book in your head.
Hazlitt goes, oh wow, okay,
Forgot they had that in your head,
Any
didn't you?
thoughts, insight?
This many thoughts and much insight, but as your little gnome in that friend in that tavern said, information's not free. Oh my.
What's your price?
He's already got the hot plate.
Yeah.
I don't know that though.
Does he have the
I
whole
would.
thing?
My price. 6 hours. Control of your body.
Supervised.
Supervised, but with access to spell books and equipment.
A blip.
Blip.
Oh, blip,
We're back.
Blip.
blip.
Jazz hands until we're back. Jazz hands until we're back. Everyone jazz hands.
Yeah. We're back.
We're back.
Anyway, supervised, but with access to spell books and equipment.
Of course, I know the person who will be your supervisor.
And we have an accord.
Yes.
Do we have an accord?
Flipped
Much
out again.
worse.
Jazz
Yep.
hand.
Look,
My
Jazz
face!
Yeah.
My face! I look like a bucktooth rabbit. I was like, "Urgh." Guys, I think we need to go on. I think we need to go on a break because I don't think the jazz hands are going to solve
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
We're going to go on a
And
quick break.
I think Steph needs to calm down a bit.
We're going to go on a quick break,
I
guys.
didn't
Just
know
try
it
and...
was
I think we broke her with the jazz
He
hands.
vanished.
We're going to try and... We're going to try and A, fix Steph, and B, fix Discord whilst we're on break. I'll be back in a minute.
Be right back.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Hello. We are back. Hopefully
Hopefully.
the blipping is going to be less, but we did have a few during that break, so
And we did all drop
We'll keep
out
it-
and drop back in, so we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah,
We'll keep
see-
an eye on it. If it gets too bad, we may have to end the session early, unfortunately. But,
And I am
there it went again.
Yeah,
as I said
this is
that.
the note.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm
Mug
okay.
in my front of my face.
Fine. I didn't break
Yep.
too much.
She didn't
Yeah.
die. She didn't die.
Okay. So,
Nobody pull
Picking
over
up-
faces.
No.
picking up where we left off. So, Haslick responds with, "They're a lot more set up than I thought they were." That whole city. Oh, it's riddled. The whole thing of that crystal, that the way it's working. Let's just say that's definitely been put in place by Slard.
You just the disembodied voice of Dahlia, don't say that. Hopefully he's far enough
Well,
away.
that's kind of what I'm thinking is, you was able to say that.
Well, I'm not anywhere near the crystal. I'm not. The crystal, from what I can see, is a giant web of enchantments. There should only really be the one for, permanent daylight. But on there, from what I can see through your memories and my own abilities, there looks to be some form of planar filter. There is one that... There is what looks like a taboo enchantment on a certain word. I'm guessing Slard, seeing as you say that I can say it and you can't. There appears to be scrying enchantments. There looks to be emotional enchantments, memory enchantments. That crystal and the light it's shedding is doing more than light, my boy. It's suppressing links like ours. It is also doctoring phrases and messages. So even if someone prays to Pelor and says exactly what's going on in that city, all Pelor hears is everything's fine.
Great.
Everything's
Yeah.
just as it should be. And Pelor himself can't reach down. Or at least not without difficulty. But why would he? Everything seems fine. There's no
Everyone's still
issues.
I'm
fine.
afraid of Pelor.
All the other gods have no idea what's happening there either, from the same thing. That place is a dead spot, in a way. And there's also the fact of, from looking through your memories, my boy, I have true sight, you don't. Let's just say 1 in 10.
Oh.
Shit. Riddled indeed. I'm not there, sorry.
Not necessarily all hidden behind disguises, but some of those slave garb wearing ones are easy to spot if you know what to look for. I believe at one point one of your friends nearly got bumped into in the lower city. Good thing they didn't get scratched.
Is that me or Val?
So with the
Val.
safe space that you would have seen, the Tritherium place, how many have we let into there?
There was only the one in there. Fortunately, it seems you got rid of it before it could A, spread, or B, report. It should be okay for the moment.
That's good. Okay.
Now,
I'm
as I
just
don't
making-
like being locked out of your mind, when
Yeah.
you get back, you're going to do something for me. And your brain is suddenly filled with runes, Sandal. In a
Okay.
room of that little market, I want you to inscribe these runes. They will counteract the effect of the crystal and allow us to speak. But only in that room.
Okay. Yeah, I pay close detail to the runes.
They are, like, he's literally, like, embedded them in your mind. He is... You can't forget these if you tried. He's... Like, normally when Hazlitt gives you something, it's just like, he just gives it to you. This is like he's taken a rubber stamp with ink and slammed it onto your brain.
It's now in your Kama Sutra book.
Almost, yeah.
Okay. I will try and get that put in there. Okay. So detonating that crystal may have worse effects than
Oh,
first intended.
detonating
That
that
makes sense.
crystal. Detonating that crystal, if you did that, could be
Devastating.
interesting. Not devastating, but let's put it this way. A whole city that's been living under mental adjustment for a number... How many years now? Probably 5? Suddenly that mental adjustment vanishes? That's going to cause some... It's going to cause some issues.
Yeah. Plus, with all the magical weaving that's gone on there, that's going to suddenly become unraveled and tangled.
Oh, the other thing I should say is, the Slard have been very clever. They've tied the glimmering into it.
Okay.
And, you know, the glimmering is that force field through the middle of the city that stops the encroach of the desert. So, unfortunately, whereas before that was there through the grace of Pelor, it's now tied to the crystal. The crystal goes, the glimmering goes. They've decided on a case of mutually assured destruction.
Okay.
I'm to a better place. Agreed. Who cares? The whole
Yeah.
city sucks. Let it burn.
As all this speech is going on, Sandal is literally sort of like just making marks in the sand
Yeah.
to waypoint himself. Essentially, just sort of like half burying a lantern,
Yeah.
considering that he's got 2 of them.
Fair enough.
Could end up
um,
losing the lantern in the desert, though.
doesn't
over the
matter.
sandstorm.
It's so that I know the sort of, we all know the distance out that we need to come. Well, we've got a couple of ideas of bit of chaos and discord that we can throw of our own.
Oh yes, I'm looking forward to eventually seeing what comes of those ideas.
It's probably not the worst thing we've ever done.
Oh, probably not, and not the worst thing you'll ever do either.
Probably not. Well, it's been nice hearing your voice again. It was a bit weird not having someone giggling and sizzling in the back of my head.
Well, I look forward to being able
Why is
to
it
in
you're
that room.
sizzling anyway?
I don't know. Probably just something. One of my machines here.
Yeah.
You hear a crunch and a oh, that's hot.
He's using a fucking hot plate, the bastard. He does have
Can
a
I
hot-
insight that?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
How did he even get it? I can't remember how he even
and
got it. Oh no, did he teleport that to himself the last time he had
advantage.
control of you? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
With advantage, yeah.
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 There was a point where Xandor could go in to his own head, I think. Or there was somewhere where he could actually physically speak.
Bloody hell.
Nat 20.
Oh.
Yeah,
Natty! Let's go.
You immediately realise he's eating a grilled cheese, and the only way you can think of it is through a hot plate.
Nice.
That's going to cost you.
Oh, I don't think it will. I had control of your body at the time, and you let me. It's not my fault you left something lying around, and, you know, gave me your friend with the portal dagger in there, and I got to do some experiments.
That's it.
I found that I can pass things to myself, at least. And also, why would I give this up? It's delicious.
Yes, but I have been pestered for ages for another one.
I want a grilled cheese.
Well, you'll just have
You
to
know the
make
cost
another
of
one.
manual labour. You know the cost of manual labour.
It's fine. Most of my
Interesting.
most of the people in my domain now are using these in their homes. They're very useful.
Well then, next time you have one, bring one back with you.
They've even
Unfortunately-
innovated. They've created an air fryer now.
It's more energy efficient than the grill.
Unfortunately, getting into the mists is easier than getting out, I'm afraid. So, yeah.
We'll work that out. Right. For
Oh,
now, I'm going to go back.
By the way, some of the people have been asking whether you could work on a fondue set next.
That'll cost them. If I've
Good
learned
luck,
anything
Sandal.
from people I associate with, everything comes at a price.
Oh, you're learning. How wonderful.
Well, I wouldn't be
Good.
very smart if I didn't.
Good luck, and should you turn into a slard, I will endeavour to continue watching you as best I can. At least watching the transformation should be interesting.
I have no doubt it will. Thank you. I start making my way back.
And as you do, you just hear "ciao" as the voice gets further away down the tunnel again. Eventually, after a good bit of time walking, you find your way back to the sort of Val guiding you back from the sky. You find your way back to that entrance way to the small cave with the ladder in it. With
I'm randomly
Vienna
munching an
currently
apple whilst floating in the
stood
air.
there.
Where'd you get the apple from?
A bag.
I relay all the information, including the whereabouts of the hot plate.
That rat bastard!
I mean, you're surprised?
Val,
No.
take her back to.
No?
I tell you
What
what,
did it cost?
next time when he's under supervision, I might just trip up with something and end up covering him with hot water. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
I thought you were just going to slip and stab him, but then you'd be stabbing Xandal, and that would be bad, so don't do
Yeah.
that.
Anyway, Xandal, these runes, do they work for just him or for all?
That's a good point.
I imagine it's just him because it's a direct. I assume it's a direct link to his.
Roll
Did-
an Arcana check.
Yeah.
Guidance.
So is that advantage or
Plus a d4.
Plus a d4, yeah.
just a d4? Okay.
Just slap him on the back. Guidance.
I don't think I need it because lucky saved my days.
Nice.
What the fuck? You're wasting them all. We need them later.
That was due to lucky.
30.
I rolled a nat 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
because yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So mentally reviewing the runes and sort of comparing them to things you know, you can't get a full grasp of it because it is so esoteric and weird compared to things you know, but you get enough to realize what these runes are doing is they're not so much blocking out the crystal as taking the planar blockage and redirecting it so that it basically becomes a tunnel just to his domain.
Yeah.
So
with,
it's like
with
a
that,
one-way
with that roll,
link.
would you be able to figure out how to add runes to make it so that it works?
No.
Oh.
No. The sort of arcane knowledge Haslick has is gathered from multiple planes of existence over hundreds of years. Most of these runes Xandal's never even seen before. He's managed to piece together what some of them do and sort of extrapolate, but that's about it. He wouldn't be able to
It's
reverse
also
engineer.
wizardry, not artificery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, no.
But what we
But
can.
I have also had a thought on the walk back.
Yeah. Oh, god damn it, Discord.
That was longer between blips. It might be getting more stable.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
the thought you had on the walk back.
Yeah. May have saved a messaging spell.
Yeah. How so?
Some thought I may be able to get in touch with Equinox myself.
Oh.
Because various instances where my thoughts may have wandered.
Apologies, audience. This is starting to get
Okay.
slightly annoying.
Yeah, apparently I jinxed this.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, the Kama Sutra book. Yes.
The blips you've been
Yes.
having, yeah. Every time you try and explain it, does the thing.
Yes. Whenever my thoughts may have wandered from the usual, there has been occasions where I've had
Apologies, guys.
anything
This
he
is not good.
Okay.
may actually watch.
Okay, so we're back again.
Yeah,
Sorry, there was another blip then.
We got to Thoughts Wandered.
Yeah.
Thoughts
Thoughts
wandered.
wandered.
So I'm assuming every time you think of the book, the because that's the Curse of Zodiac, that you think you've heard him snickering in the background. Is that what you were saying? From what I could garner.
Yes.
Okay. So what are you going to do? Just think of a naughty position, and then when he giggles, asking for pointers. Like what?
Yeah, just get in touch with him.
I mean, he's giggled at my
In
shield as well.
touch.
You don't know
You
that's
don't know.
Equinox.
You don't know that was him.
Oh, do I not? Okay.
It's
No.
Equinox. We don't know whether he was the one that made that shield. We know it was an Archfey, but we don't know which one.
So,
Pretend what?
Potentially, we should probably give up for the
Yeah.
evening at this rate, because this is
Yeah.
we can't even
and
complete a
finish this
sentence.
thought and then probably wrap up.
Let's try and finish the sport.
Yeah, this is getting a bit painful now. Sorry.
yeah, so potentially we can get in touch with him that way. We know that Vienna can get in touch with her patrons that way.
We need me
Patrons
to
the right word?
get in touch with the Talon to see whether they can help.
So you made you found a place right out there.
Yeah, it's
We'll get there, guys. I'm sorry. I know it's annoying.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just want to finish the fort, Discord. Just let us finish the fort, and then we'll give up. Fuck. Just let us
Apparently
finish
not
this.
down.
We're going to take our turns. Go do the thing. Contact each thing. Done. Right.
Done. Right. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're gonna call it. I wish we could play longer, guys, but this
Because
is
of
just
technical
unplayable.
difficulties, we are going to end early. Hopefully, we should be back on a semi-regular streaming schedule. We will obviously let you know on socials, etc., when we are streaming. It should hopefully be every other Friday again, but obviously people's schedules aren't
Yeah.
always
Except
set
for
in
the
stone.
except for the next one that we would be playing because me and Ben aren't here. We're away.
Right, but we will be playing midweek or something instead.
Yeah.
We will let you all know. Enjoy your own games, enjoy your own lives. We're happy to be back. We hope you're all happy that we're back. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Apparently tonight just isn't
Once
Discord's
it's not
night.
us. Yeah.
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 just not us for a
There's a
change, yeah.
mimic in the server.
Yeah.
And if your thirst isn't quenched with tonight's session and you want to catch up on more Dice and Mimics content, go to the YouTube channel. Whilst everybody's frozen on Discord, go to the YouTube channel. There is
Go
our
to the
entire
YouTube
back
channel if you want to
catalogue.
watch any of our back catalogue, yeah.
Yeah.
But, just bear in
Yeah.
mind that the first couple of arcs we talk over each other and we're a bit, but we get better. It gets
Yeah.
Maybe start from Act 2. Maybe start
Okay.
from when one came out. Something like that. I don't know. Just
All
go
right.
watch.
Cool.
Bye for now, everybody. Before this kill us.
Just hands.
Just,
Bye.
Shut
everybody do a freeze face.